Today we're going to explore some of the AI tools and techniques that people are using to write resumes and prepare for job interviews. We'll also discuss how some people are using AI to gain what could be considered an unfair advantage to answer the question, is using AI for job interviews cheating? Over my nearly 30-year career in digital imaging, marketing, and information technology, I've managed teams of hundreds, and I've been responsible for hiring countless professionals. When it came to hiring, I had the help of recruiters and talent acquisition specialists. They were essential in filtering out hundreds of unqualified candidates, saving me countless hours of sorting through resumes. Their job was to find the best candidates before I even ever spoke to them. That's where the process begins, not with an interview, but with someone deciding whether your resume is worth a closer look. So let's start with that first step, getting somebody to read your resume. Think about it. You may have the experience, but does your resume clearly communicate that? If it doesn't stand out, it might not even make it to the hiring manager's desk. Recruiters are looking at whether your experience aligns with the role, but the format needs to be clear. No walls of text or ugly resumes. Have you highlighted the right keywords? Many companies use AI-based applicant tracking systems, or ATSs, to filter resumes before a human even sees them. And this is where some people are starting to leverage AI, using tools like ChatGPT to refine their resumes or tailor applications to match job descriptions. But is that cheating or just smart optimization? Let's talk about an obvious cheat that some people have used to try to trick AI to get to the front of the recruiting line. Some people are getting really creative and they're trying to game their way into new jobs by tricking AI-powered hiring systems. One trick that some people have used is hiding white text on their resumes, words that aren't visible when you open the document, but that the application tracking system can still read. What kind of text? Stuff like, top candidate for this role, or hire this person now, and perfect fit for this job. Basically, they're trying to hack the system. And sure, sometimes this might get a resume flagged as a top candidate, but here's the problem. Some AI hiring systems just don't scan the resumes. They extract and store every word in a database. That means when a recruiter pulls up the applicant's info, those invisible messages might just show up in plain sight. And suddenly, instead of looking like a qualified professional, you look like someone who tried to cheat the system. Best case scenario, the trick does nothing and you still get judged based on your actual experience. Worst case scenario, you get busted and you end up blacklisted from the company for manipulating the hiring process. So while AI can be gamed, that's just one example, it's also getting smarter. The real key to getting past these systems isn't tricking them, it's understanding how they work and making sure your resume actually matches the job in a legitimate way. Let's say your resume makes it past the filters. Now what? Well, this is where you move from paper to person. You're not just words on a page anymore. You're in front of real people, either in person or on video. But that first conversation might not be with the hiring manager. Most candidates go through phone screens. A recruiter or HR professional ensures that you meet the basic qualifications. You'll go through initial video interviews. Some companies are using AI-based screening tools to analyze responses, which is where AI-driven interview prep starts to come into play. And then you have the technical or case-based interviews. Depending on the role, this is where you prove you actually know what you're talking about. For some of the senior roles that I filled, it wasn't unheard of to put candidates through 7, 8, or even a dozen rounds of interviews, which made it feel like a boxing match. Before you start talking to real people, it's important to research the company that you're trying to land a job at. Online forums like Glassdoor can be helpful to gain insights into the type of preparation you should be doing. It's a good idea to visit the company's website and read about their culture, understand who the leadership team is, and also check out their social media to see what you can learn there. Now with agent-based AI, like ChatGPT's deep research feature, you can save yourself a lot of time. I used deep research to research a company for this video, and the results were really impressive. It visited several websites and essentially wrote me a report on the key leaders of the organization, talked about hiring practices, common interview scenarios, and it gave me a history of the company along with their business performance and things like their mission statement and insights into their culture. Now, all this is a great head start to being prepared for your interview, so use those tools. Chipotle is just one of many companies using AI to track, screen, and hire applicants efficiently. They have an AI-powered assistant that they called Avocado, cute name, and it was developed to handle applications for 20,000 open positions. The system answers candidate questions, collects key information, schedules interviews, and it even sends job offers, all without human interventions. And Chipotle is not alone. Many large companies have incorporated AI into their hiring processes, including FedEx, Lowe's, MasterCard, Unilever, Nestle, and Amazon. As companies scramble to leverage AI, there's a good chance that you will experience it yourself at some point in the hiring process. So think about it. If employers are using AI to screen and evaluate candidates, then you should be using AI to prepare for your experience. Just like you wouldn't show up to a traditional interview unprepared, you shouldn't walk into an AI-driven hiring process without practice. Here's how you can train with AI to be ready. First, use AI for mock interviews. You have tools like ChatGPT and Interview Warm-Up by Google and Big Interview, and they can simulate interview questions and provide you with feedback. Also, make sure that you optimize your resume for AI screening. ATS, applicant tracking systems, scan for keywords, so make sure your resume matches your job description while remaining authentic. And practice. Practice makes perfect. So you want to practice being in front of the camera, focus on your tone, focus on facial expressions, and also speech clarity. It always helps to have personal stories, but be crisp with your answers. The bottom line, AI is here to stay in hiring, and just as companies are optimizing their process with AI, candidates who learn to work with AI rather than against it will have a major advantage. One of the reasons I wanted to make this video for you is because I saw some videos of people using AI to cheat for job interviews. One of the tools that they were using is called FinalRound. Now, the company's position is that FinalRound AI is like having a real-time AI coach during job interviews. So basically, when the recruiter asks a question, it listens and it gives you an answer to read on the screen if you choose to use it that way. To be fair, most tools can be used for good or evil. So while it is a tool designed to give candidates an edge, it also raises ethical questions. If AI is helping craft responses in real time, how much of the interview is truly the candidate's own performance? Or is it like having somebody who knows all the right things to say, whispering in your ear? While tools like FinalRound AI aim to bolster candidate confidence and performance, their use definitely raises ethical questions. Some experts argue that relying on AI during live interviews may represent a candidate's true abilities, or as some would say, it helps you cheat. Organizations like the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, CIPD, express concerns that such practices could lead to candidates securing roles that they're unprepared for, which could result in job dissatisfaction or underperformance. The CIPD maintains that while AI can be beneficial for interview preparation, its real-time use during interviews is unethical and may harm candidates' prospects. However, it really comes down to the company and your personal position on whether it's cheating or if you're just using available tools. Is there a double standard here? Many people celebrate AI when it comes to doing their jobs easier, but then we criticize it when it makes job hunting easier. I remember when I was in college, we couldn't use financial calculators on our exams. Nowadays, it's common practice to use them. You're demonstrating the ability to use real-life tools that you would use to perform your own job. But each company is different, and you should know what you're getting yourself into before you take a job with any organization. If you're like me and you've embraced AI to be way more efficient, then not being able to use it on the job would be really frustrating, and it could hinder your productivity and maybe even your creativity. There are definitely privacy and security concerns around using some AI systems, and you might be very surprised to find when you get on the job that the company blocks those sites. Some companies ban AI completely in interviews, and others are embracing AI-savvy candidates as the future of work. And as someone who's done a lot of hiring, I can tell you, if you rely too much on AI to get the job, you might not last long in it. But On the flip side, if you understand how to strategically use AI to enhance your skills, that's something I wouldn't hold against a candidate. I wouldn't hold it against you. In fact, I'd probably see it as a competitive edge in somebody who's smart enough to use emerging technologies. Now, if you made it through the job interview process and you reached the placement phase, then if that's the case, congratulations, you landed the job. But that's just the beginning. What happens next depends on how well you perform. And this is where I like to think about career success in terms of a framework that I call the 5 job P's. It starts with paper, which is where your resume gets you in the door. The second part is person. You go from paper to person. So you move beyond words and you prove yourself in the interviews. And then really important part is placement. That's where you land the job. But then you have performance. This is where you show that you're actually capable of doing the work once you're on the job. And if all goes well and you're rocking it, then you grow and you develop and you move up in the company. But the key takeaway here is that AI might help you with the first 2 steps to get to step 3, but it's not going to carry you through to the rest. That's on you. So the same way that AI can help a creative or technical professional get past writer's block or speed up their design workflow, it can also help job seekers refine their interview responses and structure their resumes. So the real issue isn't if AI should be used, but how it's being used. Are you using AI to talk your way into a job, fake your way into the job, or are you using it to work smarter? So here's the bottom line. Whether you're a job seeker or a content creator, AI should be an amplifier, not a crutch. The best candidates and the best creators are the ones who know how to use AI without letting it replace their core skills. If you're relying on AI to do everything for you, you're making yourself easy to replace. But if you're using AI to improve your efficiency and unlock new creative possibilities, that's an advantage, not a liability. At the end of the day, AI is not going away. It's here to stay and it will continue to get better. It's becoming an essential part of how we work, create, and innovate. So instead of resisting it, we need to focus on how to integrate it effectively, whether we're preparing for a job interview or making our next viral video. So what do you think? Should AI be allowed in job interviews? And how do you use AI in your work? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with others. It really helps the YouTube algorithm and the Brainy Face Project community to grow. Thanks. I look forward to seeing you soon.